Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Russell here, and today we're going to compare 4 of the best crypto exchanges right here in Canada. I think it's so important for Canadians to use Canadian exchanges because they have to meet all of the regulations on financial institutions in Canada. We've seen things like Binance having to leave Ontario, so it's important that you pick a Canadian exchange, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the fees, any added features, ease of use, and we're going to go over exactly why you should choose whichever one is best for you. All right, let's get right into it, and you can find links to each of these platforms in the description. The first one we're going to talk about here is Wealthsimple. This might be a familiar name to you because Wealthsimple has been around in Canada for quite a while, but they've recently moved into crypto. Now, previously, I wouldn't have recommended Wealthsimple crypto because they didn't allow you to withdraw your crypto to the individual blockchains if you wanted to. But now Wealthsimple has added that functionality, so we have to take a closer look. Now, generally, each different exchange is going to have similar features allowing you to buy and sell different crypto assets, inputting the amount of Canadian dollars you want, and it will give you the appropriate amount of Ether. But each different one of these exchanges makes money off of you in different ways, and it impacts which one you should choose. Wealthsimple doesn't charge any base fees when you do a transaction, but what they do is something called bid-ask spread. Essentially, they'll sell you crypto for a slightly higher price than it's worth and buy it from you for a slightly lower price, and that spread in the middle is where they make their money. For Wealthsimple, that ends up being between 1.5 to 2% per transaction, meaning if you were to buy $100 of some cryptocurrency, you'd only get roughly $98.50 to $98 at the end of the day. You can think of this as a $1.50 to $2 fee every time you buy $100 worth of crypto. It's not the best in terms of fees, but the one thing that is nice about Wealthsimple is that they don't charge you any fee when you're putting your money in or when you're taking your money out, which certain other exchanges do. None of the ones on this list because I'm trying to show you the best options. One of the other benefits of using Wealthsimple crypto is that they have one of the most responsive mobile apps. You can see here a number of tokens that you're able to buy right on the platform, and you can go right in and take a look at those charts. Here's a stable coin. We can go through here. We can take a look at Bitcoin, see the charts, see the different sort of time frames. Very responsive, very quick. I mentioned that Wealthsimple is rather bare bones, but they do offer a staking solution. If you don't already know, staking is a way that you can lock up your tokens and earn staking rewards, which work kind of like interest rates where you get paid a set amount of that token back for locking up your crypto. However, with Wealthsimple right now, this is only available for Solana, only one digital asset, and they take a rather hefty service fee for providing this staking service of 30% of your rewards. Probably not the best staking solution, so if you're looking for somewhere that you can stake more assets with less of a fee, we'll get to that in just a minute. And the final thing to note with Wealthsimple is they offer a rather hefty sign-up bonus of $50 when you purchase your first $100 of crypto, so that's something to consider too. Next up, we'll take a look at an exchange called Netcoins. It's another rather bare bones exchange. It does have a little bit more functionality when you're purchasing. It allows you to do limit orders, which allow you to set a certain price that you want to buy at and only buy at that certain price. When it hits that price, it'll trigger the sale instead of having to buy instantly when you click the button. But apart from that, you've got all the similar features here, but let's talk about fees. Now, Netcoins doesn't do the bid-ask spread method that we talked about earlier like Wealthsimple does. Instead, they just have a transparent upfront 0.5% fee on every single transaction. So if we compare it to Wealthsimple, where you were paying $1.50 to $2 for a $100 purchase, with Netcoins, that would only be 50 cents, so a little bit better on the fees side. Netcoins also offers a prepaid credit card that is a rewards card, so you can fund this card right from your Netcoins account and use it to purchase things like a Visa card, and you'll earn 3% back in Bitcoin. However, after the first 3 months, it goes back down to 1%, so it might not be worth your time. The mobile app has everything that you'd expect. You're able to fund and trade and withdraw directly from the app. However, it is a little bit less responsive than the Wealthsimple app, and I've had it crash on me a couple times. The one thing that does set Netcoins apart is that it has the largest welcome bonus at $60 when you sign up and trade your first $100. If that matters to you, then this is something you could consider. Next up, we'll take a look at Newton. Now, this is another Canadian exchange. All of these are Canadian exchange. Again, like I said, that's super important. You want to make sure they're following Canadian regulations. And Newton has a rather good website and mobile phone UI. It has some similar options to Netcoin. When you're trading, you can sort of select all the different assets that you want to purchase, and you can select, again, just like Netcoins, whether you want it to be a market order, one of those instant ones at whatever price it is currently, or a limit order where you set the specific fixed price trigger to purchase when you want to purchase. Now, I'm not much of a trader or one for technical analysis using these charts, but if you're someone who that's valuable for, Newton has a great interface here where you can sort of take a look at the charts from various different perspectives. When it comes to fees for Newton, they do the bid-ask spread just like Wealthsimple does. However, it's significantly less than Wealthsimple. Remember, we said Wealthsimple around 1.5 to 2% per transaction. Newton is at 0.7% per transaction, or 70 cents when you purchase $100 worth of crypto. Each of the other exchanges that I've listed so far, you'll be on the hook to pay whatever gas cost or transaction fees you need to pay if you want to withdraw your crypto to your own personal private wallet, a hot wallet or a cold wallet. And that's typical. You'll have to pay the transaction fees to make those transactions happen on the blockchain. However, Newton does have a feature here. When you're withdrawing crypto to your own personal wallet, they will cover $5 of those fees, and then whatever additional fees are on top of that depending on the network conditions, well, you'll have to pay that difference, but at the very least, Newton does cover the minimum of $5, and sometimes that covers the entirety of the fee. In terms of sign-up bonus, Newton comes in at $25, which is slightly lower than the $50 or the $60 from the previous two ones we've looked at. And don't worry, we're going to compare all of these aspects side by side once we're through this next exchange, which is NDAX. It's a very feature-rich platform if you want all of these advanced capabilities. When you log in, you have a pretty good dashboard here showing you all of your portfolio holdings currently on the NDAX exchange. But what makes NDAX stand out are the sort of advanced features for those users who are looking for it. But before we get into those, let's talk fees. NDAX, much like Netcoins, just charges a flat fee on every transaction, and that is 0.2%. If you've been paying attention, you'll know that that is the lowest in terms of the four that we're comparing today, and lowest that I've actually found out there. If you're buying $100 worth of Bitcoin or Ether or any digital asset, that'll come in around 20 cents for your transaction fee. Not too bad. Again, this might not be important to you if you're not looking for these more advanced functions, but NDAX does allow you to stake 5 different assets, which is better than the only one, the Solana, that it seems that Wealthsimple is allowing you to stake. And NDAX takes a smaller cut, albeit still a significant cut, and they take 20% of your rewards rather than Wealthsimple's 30%. Another feature that may be important to some is that NDAX has more withdrawal options, meaning sometimes when Ethereum or some other networks are very congested, the transaction fees can be high, meaning you have to pay quite a lot to withdraw from your exchange to your own personal wallet. NDAX has more withdrawal options on certain assets, like you can see here USDC. If you click send, which is kind of like the withdraw, you can withdraw to Polygon, which is a scaling solution for Ethereum, meaning you don't have to pay as much in transaction fees if you're trying to sort of withdraw your funds to your own personal wallet. Again, kind of a niche use case, but for me, it's been very helpful. One small downside about NDAX is that when you're withdrawing to fiat or Canadian dollars back to your bank account, you have to pay a $5 transaction fee every time you want to transfer from the NDAX platform back to your normal banking account. So that's something to consider. As well, this does have the smallest sign-up bonus at only $10 when you trade your first $100 in cryptocurrency. So things to consider. Now, if you're asking me, hey, Russell, well, just which one should I choose? I think it matters what the context is and what you individually want to do. I think that every single one of these options is actually rather good. Wealthsimple does have the highest transaction fees, but if you're somebody who already has a Wealthsimple account set up, maybe through Wealthsimple Trade to trade stocks or the other Wealthsimple products, it might be easier for you to just use that, even though there are slightly higher transaction fees. If you're a beginner but you still want to avoid Wealthsimple's transaction fees, I'd probably recommend either Netcoins or Newton. Netcoins does have the larger sign-up bonus and slightly lower fees at 0.5% or 50 cents per $100 rather than Newton's 70 cents per $100 traded. But I do find that Newton's user interface is a little bit better, a little bit smoother using it on the website, so that's something you can consider as well. And then if you are looking for those more advanced functions like staking and multiple different withdrawal options, NDAX could be right for you, although you do have to consider they have that $5 withdrawal fee to your bank account, and it is the smallest sign-up bonus. But if you're looking for those advanced functions, then, well, NDAX is your best bet. But with all of that said, I hope that this information has been helpful to you. When I was first getting into the space, I found picking the exchange I wanted to use pretty challenging, and I had to spend a whole bunch of time figuring out which one was best for me, how they were making money off of me, what the lowest fees were. So I hope that you can use this information to your benefit. If you're considering signing up for any of the platforms, feel free to use those links in the description to make sure you get the highest sign-up bonus, and it helps support the channel when you use those links as well, so I appreciate it. But with all that said, thanks so much for watching. I hope this video helped you out, and I'll see you next time.